Hey guys, it's Cauliflower. Welcome back to my channel. Anyway, today actually I'm a little bit happier with such a sullen and negative video, but it had to be done and I'm excited to get it out of the way because it is January of 2020 and yes, it is a little late, but hey, I'm always late to the party. Anyway, today I'm doing my worst products of 2019. I almost said 2020, 2019. A year of nothing but challenge and strife and stress, and there were some products that caused me the same. And a disclaimer in this wonderful video, as we all do as YouTubers, if these were products that you liked or enjoyed or that worked for you, I do apologize ahead of time if I have to speak on a negative end of that spectrum, but sometimes for other people, other ages, other skin types, other, color balances don't work. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands at the moment, but anyway, sometimes things just don't work out. So today we are officially breaking up with 2019. I've broken up with it a long time ago, but today we're officially breaking up with the beauty products of 2019 that I did not like personally. So a few of them I do have with me, a few of them I do not, I've gotten rid of. And we're going to start with skincare because, of course, that is your palette. That is your main thing that you use first. And the first thing I'm going to start with that I don't have anymore, that is in this picture right here, is the e.l.f. Booster Drops. I wasn't really sure what this product was supposed to do in the first place. It was just something that I thought was interesting because e.l.f. had just started putting out some of their skincare, more of their like serums and things of that nature. And this one promised to be something that you could add to other factors of your skincare or your makeup. And it was supposed to boost. What it boosted, I have no idea because it was straight up water. It was just very watery. It didn't do anything. It didn't sink into my skin. It kind of just laid there or it just pilled up as just like regular water would do to your skin. And I felt like I was really not doing much. So it wasn't a lot that I spent on it. I think it was like $10, but I actually saw it now in the Ulta clearance section. So that goes to show you what really happened with that one. All right, moving on to the next one that did absolutely nothing for me. This one right here, which is the more higher end, on the higher end perspective, this is the La Mer. And this is, I'm trying to see what this is, honestly. The writing on this, oh, it's the treatment lotion. I don't know what it's treating. I honestly do not know what it's treating. A friend of mine back in around the time of Generation Beauty, a friend of mine sent this to me along with some other La Mer products, and some of them I really enjoyed, but this one, I just didn't see what it did. It just, again, just like the e.l.f., it kind of just laid there and did absolutely nothing. I don't know what this was supposedly treating. It doesn't have a smell. It doesn't have anything, that you can really point out and say that it does something, it doesn't do something, because it really just did absolutely nothing. And, La Mer is very expensive. I was lucky enough to have this gifted to me, but if somebody went out to purchase this, and this is the kind of results that it gives, well, I'm very sad about that. So my recommendation is don't go out and purchase this because it does absolutely nothing. All right, moving along to the one actual cleanser that I was not a fan of this year, not whatsoever. And it's from a company I normally like. This is Pharmacy. And this is the Clean Bee Cleanser. It says Ultra Gentle Facial Cleanser. I have taken this with me on a few trips away, whenever we went away or had to do a con or anything of that nature. And I just did not like this. First of all, it has a very old, kind of like Burt's Bees smell, but not in a good way. And then the cleanser itself is just very drying. And I know it's not supposed to be because it says it's an ultra gentle formula. But for me, my face felt like it was just pulled and very dry. And I didn't feel like it took off all my makeup. And it did irritate my eyes when it got near to my eyes. So something that's supposed to be gentle really wasn't in the end. It was kind of just like it was giving me a little bit of irritation. And I tried it a few times. Like I said, I took it away with me a couple of times on a few trips, and it just didn't do much for me. So I had to give it the shove off for 2019. All right, next is hair care. I only have one product that I can say stood out in the year of 2019. A lot of shampoos, conditioners, treatments, those things, I probably have some in mind, but I don't have them with me currently. There's nothing that really stuck out that I can say really disappointed me, but there was one treatment product that I purchased and I kept it just to talk about in this video. And that was from, I should have known. I've never heard of this brand. And it's called either Kin or Ken or Kine, I don't know. But it's a hyaluronic acid for your hair. Now, I probably should have done some more research before I checked into this thing, because this is supposed to be a scalp treatment or something to help the growth of your hair. And it also says improve hair growth and, you know, the texture and all that stuff. Again, it did absolutely nothing. This was supposed to be, you know, I don't honestly know whether it was supposed to like stimulate the growth of your hair or stimulate your scalp or whatever it was supposed to do. It did nothing. This has no smell to it either. Yeah, and this isn't cheap either. This is something I picked up at Ulta. Right now, Ulta has these on clearance, so it goes to show you. I should know by when Ulta starts clearancing out stuff, you know, within a few months of it being around, or the first year, because this is the first year I've ever seen this kind of product, and I've never seen anybody talk about it on YouTube, and figures that I decide to be different and go and, you know, purchase something that I really didn't look into, but it really did absolutely nothing for me. So that's it on that product. Okay, we're going to move on to the makeup portion of this video because there's really nothing else to get into. And we're going to talk about some palettes. Now, there's some palettes that I have purchased on Mercari. That has been my app for 2019. If I had to say I had an app that, you know, was the most used for 2019, it was definitely Mercari, however you pronounce it. I love that app. It's afforded me so many great products to try without paying full price. I've been very lucky, never had any kind of issues or anything of that nature. But I did purchase two things off that website that ended up being duds for me. Let's go with the first one. This one is from Choly. This is the Essential Matte and Shimmer palette. Yeah, this is just, oh God, this was just a no-go. From the very first time I used it, it was just so lackluster and boring, and it really did absolutely nothing on my eyes. This just disappeared. As you can see here, when you blend it out, it doesn't look very nice. It actually is very reminiscent of another palette I'm going to talk about that I don't have anymore, but I did feature in my February not so favorites, or one of my February videos back in 2019, which was the LA Girl Nudist palette, which is here. Very, very similar palette. It's the same color story. It's the same boring neutrals. It's the same, almost the same kind of formula, except for LA Girl is all mattes, and this one actually says to have a couple of shimmers, but the shimmers on this just were not anything special. They didn't go on, you know, nicely per se, and it was just a very boring palette and something that I'm just not going to keep anymore after this video. And the other thing, oh, I should have known. This is the Coco Collection by Kylie Cosmetics. I, for one, have always said on my channel I was not going to ever really get into Kylie Cosmetics. To me, it's just not up my alley. It's not my thing. I've never been, you know, too, you know, stoked about trying anything from Kylie. But I did see this on Mercari, and from what it looked like, I was like, oh, this looks like a really pretty palette. It has the bronzer, it has the blush, and then it has these two highlight colors. Yeah, no. Nope. This right here has to be the worst. These absolutely worst on my skin. Bronzer, contour, I don't even know. If you could see, it even just separates and kind of sticks there. That's the way it looks on the skin. It just doesn't look good whatsoever. And this blush is so non-flattering. It really, really is. I mean, it looks really pretty in the swatch. It's like this coral orange color, really pretty. Something that's normally up my alley, but this is just not whatsoever. The formulas on this are horrible. Again, never heard about this palette. I'm not really sure who it is. I know she You know, she collaborated with Choly on this. But yeah, no, it just was not anything to write home about. And definitely two of the worst things I purchased off of Mercari this year. And then this one, you guys have seen me talk about in a video that I did as try on. It was try on some new products from the Makeup Revolution website, which this was actually on their UK website. So it's not available in this country. But if you did, I don't even know. I really don't even know. Maybe you can get them now because they're terrible. But this is the My Sign from Makeup Revolution. I purchased two of these. It's in my video if you'd like to go back and watch it. I tried this and it's such a cute little idea. It's trying to be like the BH Cosmetics, the Zodiac, like each different sign gets like their own color wheel. Well, in this case, it's a color wheel, but in BH Cosmetics, I guess it's like a square palette. But the colors on this made no sense to me, and the way they wore made no sense to me. Once I put them on my eyes, they kind of completely just disappeared. I didn't spend a lot on this. This was on clearance on that website too. I'm not really too upset about this purchase because it was just something that I saw in the clearance section and thought it was a cute idea. But once I tried it on my eyes, and I think I tried one side Sagittarius and the other side something completely different, you couldn't tell the difference because there really was no difference. It was the same formula. It was the same kind of just lackluster look. And it sucked. I mean, to be plain and simple, it just sucked. So that's it for that. Okay, the other one, this, I don't know how to explain this, but back in 2018, actually, was it 2018 or the 2019? I can't even think about it. It's probably for 2018. For 2019, Generation Beauty, this particular company was there, and there's two folds to this because I'm going to talk about something I don't have anymore and this. This company is in a lot of subscription services, or I don't know because I haven't seen them in any recent subscription services, so maybe this is the telling of this particular product. But it is Douce or Douce. Anyway, so back in 2018 at Generation Beauty, we got to make a palette where we got to choose our own colors and our own blush colors, and I thought it was a really cool idea. But as you can see in this, it is the most powdery, the most dusty colors. I mean, I have gotten a few products from them before where I really like them, but these particular ones, these like matte shadows, they are actually just really awful. Like I said, they're very, very powdery and just very dusty. And of course, they don't stay on the eye. And the other disappointment was the mascara by the same company. It's in a black and red package. I showed it again on my favorites and fails. It was just not a very good mascara whatsoever. It was pretty just uneventful. It didn't really do anything for my lashes. It didn't lengthen, it didn't strengthen, it didn't blacken, it didn't pumpify, whatever you want to call it. It did nothing. It kind of just did what this did. Laid there in a dusty trail and should have just kept on going. Bye-bye, Douce, bye-bye. The next product, since we're going into eye products, I might as well talk about this now because I only had two real not great experiences with mascara this year, and one of them was in the form of Maybelline Snap-scara. I really wanted to like this because I was so excited to see that Maybelline had come out with yet another mascara, and I'm a big fan of Maybelline mascaras. I love, love, love the Rocket. It is one of my all-time favorites. I talk about this constantly here on my channel, but the Snap-scara was just not worthy of snaps. It was worthy of thumbs down. It did absolutely nothing. I purchased the one that was like a burgundy color because I thought it would be really cool. I saw it on the commercial. The way it looked on the model's lashes was like so pretty and so different, and that's what I thought this was going to be, but it absolutely did nothing. And I did also purchase the L'Oreal Voluminous in the same color, but that one wasn't as much of a disappointment as the Maybelline Snap-scara was. That one did absolutely nothing. It just laid there, and even when I tried to build it up to get to that burgundy color, that nice rich plum burgundy color, you had to do it 3, 4, 5 times for it to even show up. And for me, that's just not worth it. That's way too much maintenance. And yeah, it was a big fail and a big no-no for 2019. And then there was this wonderful one right here, this little guy. I don't know why more people didn't discuss this in 2019 as being an epic fail, because L'Oreal, I love your mascaras, I really do. What were you thinking with this unlimited mascara? This was the weirdest, most, I don't know, moment in history of mascara. What were we going for? What were we going for? Oh, this is easier to put on your lashes kind of a thing, because no, it wasn't. The bendy little thing kind of just threw me off, actually, especially when you're used to just straight up ones. And again, this is the weirdest thing because this bends too. I don't know. This whole component just, oh, there it is. There it is. This bends. This threw me off. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing, L'Oreal? I don't get it. It was like a torture device to me, because you could really hurt yourself if you don't know what you're doing. And honestly, that's going in my garbage, because I held on to that just for a video where I was going to talk about dislikes, and that one was probably up there because I really didn't understand what the whole hype was behind it. But even the formula of the mascara itself was not good. So yeah, that was a huge disappointment for 2019 for me. All right, last two products are in the form of concealers. Actually, no. Let me talk about one foundation that just went for me. At first, and I have a review of this one, it wasn't so bad. But then as I tried it again, and the smell of it, and just the fact that for me, and listening to like the ingredients, and I know Jen Love Reviews did a whole full take on the thing, and then once she did that, I was like, yeah, I'm not applying this to my face. So I got rid of it. I think I sold it on Mercari after I used it a few times. But it is the Morphe Fluidity foundation. Yeah, that stuff was straight up spackle. That was straight up spackle. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was so excited about the concept of Morphe coming out with a foundation that I really wanted to like it. But especially on my skin, I've got older skin, and it was Texture City. Even in that video, and when I watch it back, I'm like, girl, what were you thinking? Like, that was just not your thing. And the funny part is, when I went to Generation Beauty this year, Morphe had a little bit of a booth in the back, and they were talking about this foundation. When I tell you there was nobody on that line, there was nobody on that line. So that was a huge, huge foundation disappointment. And then I'm going to go into this too. Now, I know that I probably put this in the favorites at one time, but I'm going to tell you something about the Morphe Fluidity Concealer. What happened? Like, I used a lot of this concealer thinking it was good. It smells like Elmer's glue. It smells like Elmer's glue. Like, the first time I put it on, I loved the way it looked under my eyes. My under eyes looked really, really good. You know, really nice and brightened up. And then over time, the smell got worse. The look got worse. And I kept using it. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe it was just one of those things where I just grabbed the concealer, didn't care what I looked like that day, and threw it on. And the more I used it, the more I despised it. So I'm like, I can't even believe I used this tube up, because I hate this concealer just about as much as I hated, oh yeah, I hated the foundation. The smell of this is not good. It smells like straight up Elmer's glue. That's not something that should be in anybody's makeup, skincare, or anything. It should never smell like that. So that was a big no-no. And the last product in my worst of 2019, this is also another concealer. This is also something I tried here on my channel. It is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Again, I said the first time I used this, oh, it's nice, it's not so bad. But it is the fact that, first off, this, you know, I'm trying to be the Tarte Shape Tape doe foot. I'm over it. I'm over them all trying to be Tarte Shape Tape when they don't need to be. There's so many other better concealers out there than Tarte Shape Tape. Let's get off the Tarte Shape Tape. This is just, again, the color on this is just ridiculously way too fair for my skin tone. I mean, I will tell you, when it blends in, it looks really good. But look at this. It leaves this cast, and you got to keep going and going and going before it even blends in. And I just didn't want to keep doing that. And it went to the back of my concealer drawer, and that's where it stayed for a good portion of the year until I brought it back out to talk about it today in my worst of 2019. So that is it. There wasn't a lot of stuff, but there was some, a good amount of stuff that I did not like in 2019. But I'm very, very hopeful for 2020. I know there was so many releases in 2019 that I just didn't get into. I just didn't jump full force into every release and everything that went out there. And I'm a small channel. I don't get a lot of products. I don't get PR. So for me, it's everything I get, I purchase myself. So if I don't, review something that was brand new right when it came out, unfortunately, that's the way things go here on my channel. But I am very aware, and I do get around to getting some stuff that I'm into. So you'll be seeing a lot more of that on my channel for 2020. And hopefully it looks like a more, positive road. We're going to just keep going with that positive stuff. But anyway, thank you guys for sticking around if you still are. If you're not, if you're somebody who's just come here for the first time, welcome to my channel. It is great to have you. Please remember to subscribe before you leave, and also hit that bell for every notification that you won't get. But anyway, look out for it. And I will see you guys in my next video.